Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students, and welcome to the lecture on report writing skills. Dear students, today we are going to discuss something about electronic mails, emails. Now dear students, we have been discussing reports, we have been discussing memorandums, we have been discussing letters, and now it's the turn of reports. Of the emails, and the subject is report writing skills. So why to discuss emails? Email, dear students, is also a kind of report. The only difference between an email and a memorandum is that email is a soft copy, electronic copy, whereas memorandum is a hard copy. And email is used both for internal communication as well as for external communication, whereas memorandum normally is used only for internal communication. Then dear students, email is a very quick medium of transmitting the information from one place to another place, and a very quick medium of transmitting the information at the same time to many people, located even at a distance of many countries away from your place where you are sitting. Then dear students, it's very easy that in an email you can very easily attach the documents in attachments and send them. Similarly, if you want to keep a record of the hard copies, it becomes very difficult. You have to have the almirahs for them, the drawers for them, the lock system for them physically, in order to keep them secure physically over there. Whereas record keeping in an email is quite easy. It's there in your email box. That does not mean that it is fully secure. That only means that record keeping in email is easier as compared to memorandum. Whereas in memorandum, when you have to send the copy of the memorandum to different people, you have to send the person physically from one place to another place, and to another place, and to another place. Whereas in an email, this is not required. It's simply your laptop or computer and the internet facility over there, and then you move on. Then dear students, there is something that we call intranet, and then there is another thing that we call internet. Now when the internet facility or the addresses are available only to the people working within that organization, that networking system is only for the people within that organization, and only the users of that system are those people who are working in a particular organization, then you call it intranet. And internet, when you are having users from all over the world, and you call them the internet. Now dear students, what is normally the format of an email, and how do you write an email? What are the various things available on an email? We will be discussing it in detail one by one. Kindly have a look on the screen. This is an example of intranet in front of you. You can see on the screen a heading with username, then the password, and over here, dear students, you enter your username. When you enter your username, the next step is to enter the password. Let me enter it for you. Now here, dear students, in front of you is the inbox of an intranet email address opened up, and there you find their different icons in front of you. This is inbox. If you click new message, if you want to generate a new message, you will be clicking this icon, new message. Then if you want to go to the folders, click the folder options, and here you find inbox, mail trash, saved drafts, saved messages, sent mail, spam mail, virus mail, and the other virtual folders. And dear students, there are so many other options available, but the pertinent ones and the icons that are mostly used are that you move to the new message and you write a new message, or you want to see your inbox, you click the inbox and you simply get a glance on all the emails that you have received. Then dear students, if you open up say over here in front of you any email, then there are many options within an email. That is the option of deletion. You want to delete it, you can delete it. You want to reply, then there is an icon, kindly have a look on the screen, of reply. You click it, and then there are two options in front of you, replying to the sender or replying to all. If there are so many other people as well in CC, or the email is addressed not to a single person but to more than one people, then there's an option to all. You can reply the email to all, or you can simply reply it to the sender. Then if you want to forward this mail to somebody, then again there's an option. You want to forward the entire message, body text only or body text with attachments. Okay, have a look on the screen in front of you. Moving back to the inbox, and then let us try to create a new message. And what are the different options available? Kindly have a look on the screen, dear students. There are some headings in front of you. From, the first heading in front of you on the screen is from, and your email address is already there, already typed there in your new message box. After that you find the heading of to. Over here you will be writing the email address of the person to whom you want to send this email. You can add up over here as many addresses as you want. You can directly send this email to as many people as you want, but if there is the main recipient of the email whom you want to be recognized as the main recipient, then only write the name of email address of the main recipient in this portion. And you want to send the copy to other recipients, then do not write the email addresses of those who will be receiving the copy in the main to line, rather write it over here in the CC line. In the situation when you want to recognize only one person as the main recipient of your email, but if it's not the situation, all the recipients of your email are equally important, or you want to recognize them all as the direct recipients, then you can add up the email addresses of all your recipients over here. Kindly have a look in this to block. Have a look on the screen over here. Next line, you can see the next heading of CC, that is carbon copy. If you want to send the copy of this email to other recipients, then this is the place, and this CC will be visible to all. That means it will be visible to all the recipients. If there is an address written in CC, then this CC will be visible to all your recipients, that this email was sent to Mr. A, B, C, D, E, F. So it's not hidden, it's visible. But if you somehow do not want the other recipients of your email visible to anybody else, then there is another option of BCC, blind carbon copy. Over here in BCC, if you write the email address of any recipient, then that address will not be visible to any other recipient. After that, dear students, is the subject line, and over here this is the place where you will be adding up the subject of the email. Then, dear students, the priority, there are 5 levels: highest, high, normal, low, and lowest. You can select any level of priority if you want to give your email the highest priority in speed and in reception. In all that case, you can select the highest priority level, or high priority level, or normal priority level, low priority level, or lowest priority level. It depends on your requirement. Then this is the text block, dear students. This is the text block. Have a look on the screen. This is the text block. Here you will be adding the text, right? Have a look on the screen. Sample text, by the way, do not write like that. This is a block where you will be adding the message of your email. Okay, dear students, if you want to go for some attachments with your email, since this box is not enough for adding up long texts, it's recommended that if you're having some longer text or some document that you want to attach in the original document form, then there's an option of attachments over here. Kindly have a look on the screen. This is here, attachment option, and if you want to attach something, you will be clicking this browse button. I have simply clicked the browse button. If I say want to pick up any file from the desktop, say I want to say pick up this file. I have clicked on that file, double clicked on that file, and over here I will be clicking the button update here, and you will see the message added lecture 23 as an attachment. Now, dear students, you are having the option to send this mail. If you want to send this mail, this is the send message button over here as well, and this is the send message button over here as well. If you want to cancel the message, you can cancel it through this button over here, cancel message, or you can cancel it through this button over here. Now, dear students, if you have added up some attachment, but somehow after a while you decide that you do not want to send this attachment with your email, then is there any option to get that attachment removed? Yes, you are having that option. Kindly have a look on the screen. You will find over here a button saying delete. Select it like this, and then again select the update button. Click the update button, and here you will find the message deleted the attachment lecture 23. Now, dear students, if you want to add up some color scheming, some new font styles in your in the text of your email, then over here kindly have a look on the screen. You are having the option switch to HTML composition. Click it, and after a while you will find some characteristics over here like this. If you want to say color this line blue, the text of this line blue, simply click this color option. I am selecting blue, click OK, and here you are having the purple color, bluish purple color. Or if you want to color the background of the line, then this is the icon for background color. Click it and add up any background that you want. Let us select green, but I have not selected. First you have to select the lines like this. Select the lines, then after it select the color, and then click OK. and here you find that the background of these two selected lines is colored green. If you want to increase the size, for example, again select the line, you want to increase or decrease the size, this is the option, the size is increased. Then the different formats of the headings available over here, and that these are the different font styles available in front of you. If I want to say select this line and give it the shape of heading 1, this is heading 1 shape. Now I want to give it the shape of heading number 4, this is heading number 4 shape. I want to give it the shape of heading number 6, this is heading number 6 shape. Heading 1, this is heading number 1 shape and size. If I want to change the font, I will be selecting this line, Courier New, this is Courier New. I want to give it another style, Georgia, this is the Georgia style. I want to give it another style, Veranda, Verdana by the way, this is that style. I want to give it another shape, that is the impact shape, this is the impact shape in front of you of the headings. I want to give this heading yet another shape, and that is wingdings. Now this is the wingdings shape of the heading. I want to write this line in italics, then this is the symbol for italics. I will be pressing this button, kindly have a look, and the line will get converted into italics. And if I want to get this line converted into bold shape, then simply click this button, and the line, you will get the bold line over there. If I want to underline this, then this is the underline button, click this and this is underlined. Have a look on the screen. If I want to add up bullets over here, then select the lines with which you want to add up the bullets, and over here this is the bulleted list, click it and the bullets are there. Now if you want to add up some indent over there, then select it. For increasing the indent over here, like this, you will be increasing the indent. If you want to decrease the indent, this is the decreasing button, you will be decreasing the indent. Now if you want to number the different points, this is the numbering option in place of the bullet option. These are the lower Roman numbers for bulleting option to number your options. Upper Roman numbers, then lower Latin letters, then upper Latin letters, then lower Greek letters. So these are the different options available in the email. Alignment options are also available. If you want to align this email, justify towards the left margin, this is that option. If you want to centralize it, select the text you want to centralize like this and then centralize it like this towards the right, justifying towards the right margin, this is the option. Or you want to justify it fully, then this is the option. There are many options available in an email that you can very easily use, and you can use any of the options as per the requirement and formality level of the email that you are generating. So these were the simply general guidelines in order to make you understand what is an email. Now dear students, you should know something about the various rules and regulations that you should be following when you are writing an email. Kindly have a look in front of you on the screen, and the rules are visible in front of you. Now dear students, whenever you are writing an email, especially when you are writing a professional email, and you're writing an email, or you are writing an email to some superior of yours, some senior member of your organization, or you are writing an email to a person whom you are not acquainted well with, so you are supposed to be extremely cautious about something, certain rules and regulations, about the words you are going to use, the way you are going to give the headings to your email, the way you are going to write the text of your email, the way you are going to design it, the way you are going to format it. So what are those cautious steps, especially when you are writing an email to your senior officer, or you are writing your email to a person whom you are not familiar with? Kindly have a look on the screen. First of all, the subject line. Dear students, the subject line that you should be adding to your email must be very much meaningful, and it should be such a crisp subject line. And I have already shown you the location of the subject line in an email. The subject line should be such that the entire motive and objective of the email becomes clear simply by looking at the subject line of the email. Then dear students, if you choose the appropriate subject line, it can also help your recipient to read your email at some priority level earlier, quickly. So if you are in a hurry and you want your email to be read immediately, then choose such a subject line that even if your recipient is having 100 emails in his or her email box, he or she picks up your mail to be opened up first, just because of the very good, meaningful and relevant subject line chosen that shows the situation and urgency and requirement of your email. Then next point, dear students, kindly have a look on the screen. Beginning of an email is just like the beginning of a letter. You are supposed to add up the courtesy titles like Dr., Mr. and Miss, dear Mr. ABC, dear Dr., DEF, etc., just as you begin your letter. The same would be the beginning of the text of your email. Dear students, as far as the writing mechanics of an email are concerned, you are going to use the standard punctuation styles, the standard capitalization styles, and the standard spellings that are used in any piece of professional writing in hard copy. And if you write an email all in bold letters, it is never appreciated. It's simply like as if you are shouting on somebody. You should not be violating the writing mechanics. You should be following the same writing mechanics of punctuation, of spelling, of capitalization as you are following for any other standard documents. Then dear students, in the text of an email, you might need to have the paragraphs, but the point is this: remember one thing, email normally is a very short document. You are having a very short space in the text box. You are expected to write very short paragraphs, and those paragraphs should be written very clearly and in a very direct way. Email is a very quick medium of communication, and normally the professionals and around you, they take the email box and the email communication as a very serious business. So you are not supposed to write unnecessarily long emails that never create a good impact. None of your recipients is having enough time, enough, you can say, spare time with them to be wasted on unnecessarily long emails. Write the email to the point. Do not waste your time. Do not waste the time of your recipient when especially you are writing an electronic mail, an email. Dear students, nobody will stop you to be a bit cordial and friendly while you're writing the text of an email, but sharing a joke with somebody is a different story, and making fun of somebody is a different story. So you can be having a cordial and friendly tone, but you should not be cutting such jokes or such stupid jokes that might be a joke for you, but that might not be a joke for your recipient. So be cautious while you're writing an email. Do not go for the jokes that can be taken as negatively. Go for cordial language, go for friendly language, but do not go for jokes that can be taken as an insult by your recipient. This is, you can say, big risk in email communication that you are specially recommended that avoid excessive joke material in your email, especially when you are writing a professional email. Professional email no doubt requires some level of formality. Okay, dear students, sometimes you are already in a conversation with some recipient of yours through an email. For example, you have sent an email, your name is Mr. A, you have sent an email to Mr. B. Now a discussion has started. Now Mr. B responds to your email. Now you respond back to Mr. B. Now Mr. B again responds back to you, you are Mr. A, and you again respond back to Mr. B. So a series of discussion, a continuing email discussion conversation has started. Now what to do in that situation? Are you supposed to, whenever you want to reply to Mr. B, should all the continuing previous discussion mails be attached at the bottom of your new email which you are sending again to Mr. B? The recommendation is, do not do this. Always try to trim the older conversation emails, write a fresh message and send it to the recipient so that the email is not lengthened unnecessarily. Have a look on the screen, it's clearly written over there that trim back the old messages. Most email clients will keep copying older messages to the bottom of an email. Delete older messages as to keep your message size from getting too large and keep your messages looking clean. Okay, now dear students, You people once have exchanged an email on the same subject. Now for your follow-up emails on the same subject, probably you can leave the greetings like dear Mr. Again the courtesy titles. Since you have already started discussing something, like a person is standing in front of me and I have already started talking to that person, hello Mr. Arsalan, how are you? Now he replies, thank you Miss Sadia, I'm fine. Now again, if I want to okay, again giving back the answer, hello Mr. Arsalan, I just wanted to know how are you, what's up, what are you doing nowadays? Then he again going to reply that well, hello Miss Sadia, I am doing very fine, and nowadays I am teaching the classes of bachelor's level and master's level. In normal conversation, you do not repeat hello Miss Sadia and hello Mr. Arsalan again and again before all the messages, because you have already started the conversation on the same subject. Same is the case in the case of an email. If you are already exchanging some emails on the same subject, then you are having the option to leave the beginning greetings and the courtesy titles, since you have already started the conversation with each other, like as two people are standing in front of each other and they are discussing something, some subject. And then, dear students, whenever you receive some email, you are supposed to respond to that email within a reasonable time. Now what is a reasonable time? That will be decided by two things. One, the urgency of the message, the subject that you are discussing, and the recipient's expectation. Is the person expecting a very quick reply from you, or the recipient wants you to first go for some detailed research and then come up with some facts and figures and then reply back? Or the subject demands a quick reply, or the subject demands a bit analytical approach towards the creation of the reply before you click the send button? Now it all depends what is an appropriate time, what is a reasonable time to reply to an email. It depends on the circumstances, but it should not be delayed too much as if the subject is lost in the air. Nobody knows what was written in the beginning, nobody knows what should be written as a reply. It should not be forgotten in oblivion. Okay. Now dear students, if in an email somebody has sent you an email and that person is asking too many questions, now you want to answer back all those questions, then yes, there is one possibility that you can embed your answers in the questions of the sender. You can pick up the same questions, you can copy them, paste them in your box, and then add up your answers below each question. But do inform your recipient in the beginning that you are doing it like this, and then do leave a reasonable respectable space after it. Have a look on the screen like this. A person has sent you an email and the question he put is, how long are you staying? Then the next question was, will you have time to visit with us? And so many other questions. Now one option is get the questions copied and then add up your answers under each question of your sender. Here the first question was, how long are you staying? And you answered under the question of your sender, less than 2 weeks. Will you have time to visit with us? I am really hoping to, but my schedule will be pretty tight. Let me get back to you about that after the weekend. Now this is allowed. You can embed your answers in the questions that are pasted from the mail of your sender at the bottom of your inbox, at the bottom of your text box. Okay, dear students, now this is a very important point next that we are going to discuss, that what sorts of information should not be added up to your email. As I told you in the very beginning, that yes, record keeping in an email is very easy as compared to memorandums. But there is one more thing that you should be keeping in your mind. You must have been hearing the word hacking time and again in your life. My mailbox was hacked. I found many mails missing from my inbox. I couldn't get my password entered up after my email address. That means spying into the email inbox of any person's email is very easy, dear students. Email is not that secure. It's quite possible that your email can be read by a person whom you never wanted, you never intended to send that email to. So it's very important to be cautious about the material that you are writing in an email. So always avoid to write such information in your email, like your email address, like your password, like your bank account number, or like your credit card number. Avoid such pieces of information to be added to your email. Now, dear students, if there is some such information that can be potentially damaging to someone else's career, or that can be reputation, or that can be damaging to your own self as well, or that is so sensitive that it should not be shared with many people, in that case too, avoid writing that on an email. As I told you, it can be very easily hacked. And then again, this is quite possible that your sender simply by mistake pressed the button forward, simply by mistake, by chance pressed the forward button on your email. Forwarded to how many people by mistake, nobody knows. Then it's quite possible that your I'm talking about your receiver. I think use the word sender, that your receiver by mistake pressed the forward button, and your very sensitive and secret email was forwarded to so many people. Similarly, your recipient, your receiver, the receiver of your email, for example, sometimes in a rushing situation left the inbox of hers opened up in the office and moved to some other place, forgetting that she simply left a very important email of yours opened up in front of so many people sitting over there. What would you do then? Similarly, if your recipient by mistake pressed the print button and she never knew that your email was printed and the print was received by somebody else from the printer. Again, spying, hacking mistakes are very much possible in an email. So you are not supposed to add up any such information in the email that, if revealed, can be damaging to you or your friends or your colleagues. Let us now talk about something about the attachments. What about sending the attachments with an email? Are there any rules and regulations that must be followed while you are sending an attachment? As you know, that this facility of adding up attachments with your email seems to be very much attractive, that in a single fraction of a second you can click some file and get it attached to the email and send it. Now, dear students, if you are sending an email to a person, with whom it's your first interaction and you do not know each other beforehand, always avoid sending attachments to such a person, because the recipient who does not know you might take it as a spam, as a virus, and delete it without reading it. On the other hand, if there was some person who already had sent this request of sending the attachment to you in the form of your CV, then it's a different story. For the first time you are sending the mail to that person, but on his request you can add up the attachment of the CV and other such documents which were requested from you. But in case this is not the situation, always avoid adding up attachments while you are sending an email to a person whom you do not know already, or in the case when the person whom you are sending the mail to, he does not know you already, might get deleted without being read. Okay, unnecessarily large files should be avoided to be attached with your emails, especially when you are talking about the photos through the digital camera. Normally the size is such that when it is sent through an email, it is very much, it cannot be viewed on the screen as a whole. So you should understand that how you should resize your photographs so that they get fitted in to the view size of your email. Normally, if you do not resize those photographs, what happens that on the full screen only one eye of yours is visible in the photograph. If it's your photograph on the screen which you have not resized as per the requirement of an email, then the photograph through the digital, especially the digital photos, might be like this, that the entire screen is only showing your eye. We move the cursor to the right side, then the other eye, the downside, then your nose. The size is too large. So you should understand how to resize the photographs so that they can fit in the view of the screen. But dear students, somehow if you have to send much material or large files or set of files to your recipient, if it is required, then in that case you should be having the courtesy to inform your recipient beforehand that this is the reason I am sending these attached files to you. Remember one thing, dear students, you should never forget to install the antivirus softwares to your computer so that all your outgoing and incoming emails can be scanned, and so that it's quite it becomes a safer medium for you. The email for both for your outgoing and incoming emails through the properly installed antivirus, security level gets a bit enhanced. Even then it's not that much secure, but at least you should try your level best to make it secure to the level that it can be relied a little bit more. Email listers and discussion groups, dear students. This is a very important part of our discussion, that sometimes we join some discussion group on an email, and when we join those groups, there are some very bad email behaviors, poor email behaviors that we face just because of our ignorance, or just because we do not know the etiquettes of the emailing, or just because we do not know how to cope up with the discussion forum on internet. One of the very common mistakes and the blunders that the people who have joined some discussion group on internet is, dear students, that they simply click the to button and click the send button without rechecking the addresses to whom that message or post was being sent. You have written something and you have not checked the to line carefully. Normally you post, you intend to post, to send that post to one of the recipients having some very crucial and sensitive information, but you do not check the to bar, what is written after to, how many addresses are there on to, and that post is sent to almost all the members, say, of the group, most of the times to your embarrassment. So it is recommended that you should double check the addresses on the two lines, especially when you have joined a group and you are sending some post. That are you sending really that post to only those people whom you intend to send it to, or by mistake there are some addresses added over there that should not be there? In order to save yourself from embarrassment, kindly double check the two option. Okay, dear students, so when you have joined a discussion group, there are some ethics that should be followed. You should not be sharing on a group the grievances or some negative incidents or happenings or grudges that you are having in your heart against some of your colleagues, some other organization, or some other people in your life, or any of your adversaries. Why to avoid them? Dear students, number one, it is a bit against ethics. You have joined a group and you're discussing a person in open with the group, and second, you do not know who are the various people who have joined that group. It's quite possible that you are saying something bad about somebody, and that somebody is directly reading it from the group as a member of that group. So it's again coming as an embarrassment to you. You will never like your negative statement about somebody to be read directly by that person, especially if you wanted to send it secretly to somebody else, thinking that he is not reading it, she is not reading it. Ethically it's wrong, and if you use your brain, then your intelligence will guide you that it can get you trapped as well. Okay, dear students, if you have just recently joined a discussion group on an internet, be cautious for some time. Stay away from sending any post. Just observe for a while, for some days, or whatever time period you require to exactly understand the soul of that group, understand what that group is all about, or understand what that group expects from you, or understand what is the tone and behavior of that group. Unless and until you fully understand the motives, fully understand the direction, and fully understand the expectation of the group that you have just recently joined, avoid sending any posts to that group. That will always be helpful for you. As somebody says that think before you speak, similarly think before you post. This would be very much helpful for you in all the spheres of your life. Okay, dear students, just to give it a revision, we started with I started with showing you some real email box of my own. Like this. Have a look on the screen. The password, the username, the password. After that, here in front of you was the email box, then how to create the new message, what are the various options available, what are the various folders available, and then how to log out. This is the log out option, Moving back to the new message option, I told you that there is an already printed line on your account that is from your address is already typed over there. Then is the option of to, and then is the option of CC, then the option of BCC, then the subject line, then the priority level, and then dear students there is the text box. And after that, dear students, you might be having the option, you are having the option of attachments with your email. And yes, you are having the option of switching to HTML composition as well if you want to use the different colors and the shadings and different fonts and different indenting styles and such other facilities and such other styles in your email. Then dear students, we moved on to some general guidelines of writing an email. How do I compose an email to someone I do not know? We discussed the subject line, kindly have a look on the screen. Then we discussed the courtesy titles that are supposed to be used. Then we discussed what kind of spelling and the punctuation and styles or capitalization styles are recommended for an email. After that, we discussed what kinds of paragraphs should be used in an email. Then dear students, what frankness level or joke level is recommended for an email, and what are the various guidelines for a continuing email conversation. Here in front of you, have a look on the screen. Then dear students, we discussed what sorts of information should be sent via email, what should be written in the email, what should not be written in an email, what is the security level of an email, how should you safeguard yourself and your recipient from negative outcomes of a stupidly sent email, an email sent without caution, or email with the information that should not have been added to the email communication system. Then what are the various rules and regulations that you should be following while you are sending attachments with your email. After that, dear students, we discussed the various loopholes that you might face if you have joined a discussion group on internet, and what are the various rules and regulations, or what are the various guidelines that will help you to safely join and continue with a discussion group on an internet. That is all for email writing, dear students. You can have your email account on Yahoo as well. Yahoo is an example of internet, and then Gmail is also an example of an internet blog. At the same time, I just opened up my email box in front of you. That is an example of an intranet. Sadia_Siddiq at comsats.edu.pk. Now this comsats.edu.pk, this address, such addresses are available only to the people who are working at Comsats, an example of intranet. But users of Yahoo are from all over the world, Gmail from all over the world. That is an example of internet, the difference between intranet and internet. Dear students, hoping you best of luck in all the good things of life. See you inshallah in the next lecture. Till then, Allah Hafiz.